Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. The title of this video regards comprehensive immigration reform. I haven't talked about this a lot, quite frankly, because under Trump, I didn't think it was possible much at all, although I think it could have happened in the first 2 years of his term. Under Obama, at the end there, when we first started doing videos, I think it was kind of a dead letter because he was on his way out. Congress wasn't really in lockstep with him at that particular moment. It just wasn't really going to happen. Just kind of died on the vine. As divided in many ways, and look, I'm a complete outside observer in many ways to American politics these days. I haven't been back to the States in a number of years. You know, my primary focus is out here in Southeast Asia, but I do keep track of U.S. politics, especially as it pertains to things that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, U.S. immigration being one of them. I think it's pretty much high time. We got to get comprehensive immigration reform. I mean, the system, for lack of a better word, and I don't think there is a better word, it is fundamentally broken in many respects. I mean, the people that are working in there, I have no doubt that they are good folks. In fact, I've seen them. I've met them. They're fine. They're doing their job. They're doing it the best that they can. But in many ways, the last few administrations, and I'm not pointing out any one, although if you were talking to me one-to-one, I'd say that some of the folks that have come and gone were better than others in a political sense on this topic. But that being said, I don't think there's any blame to be had. It's just the system is old. I mean, the immigration system that we presently have in the United States basically goes back to the Eisenhower administration. I mean, it's just been around so long. I hesitate to call it antiquated, but I don't know what the other word is. I mean, the last major reform we saw was, I think, IRA in the 90s. So, and that wasn't even that big of a deal. That didn't fundamentally change visa categories, the way cases are processed. One big thing that I would love to see under comprehensive immigration reform is for family-based visas, make a decision. Are you going to deal with it under Department of Homeland Security or deal with it at DOS at embassies and consulates abroad? Make a decision. Do it in one or the other, because the system as it presently sits is very redundant, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why. Now, I know back under Trump, Tillerson, they've been kind of tinkering around with the notion of putting DHS officers in embassies. I think that kind of went over like a lead balloon, and then now we've continued kind of going on this wagon where the wheels are kind of rickety and just kind of moving forward. I definitely think it's time for comprehensive immigration reform. Again, I'm not politically savvy as to the up to the minute what's going on over there, but it looks like you got a pretty divided House, you got a pretty evenly divided Senate. I think a bipartisan plan could come out of those houses and be signed by the president within the next 2 years. And in fact, I think it should happen because you've got enforcement issues in certain places, especially border areas of the United States. And then you've got issues of folks that are trying to legitimately get in the United States, go through the paperwork properly, and it's kind of almost like a neo-Soviet nightmare in many ways. So something to think about. Maybe I'm just yelling into the abyss here, but I think it's high time we start seriously looking at comprehensive immigration reform in the United States.